So strategy session 3. A lot of people don't think YouTube is a weapon that we could use. But YouTube is just a communicational means, media, platform for the general public to express themselves. At first they didn't have no real serious rules and regulations. Then they come up with a copyright because they put something on YouTube so the public should be able to use it, but they don't want you to rebroadcast it or use it. And when you put something on YouTube, it's mostly generally free. It wasn't no commercials. Then all of a sudden, when they start putting commerce, they start coming up with commercials because guys was getting views, crazy numbers. So they wanted to get compensated, for their product or materials, But YouTube ain't the place to have a market, really, an open market like that. But when they started seeing how people were using PayPal and donating, and you get paid by your subs and views, they said, well, they want a piece of the action. This is how gangsters work. That's how they work. When they see how much money involved, and when you start getting a big chunk of money, they want their percentage, man. So they're trying to control the airwaves. They're trying to control everything. So this is what London maritime law is being put in place. And that's the language that is being used now in the court systems, legalese, maritime law, also in spiritual or religious institutions. Because money, as far as tithing and donations, is being exchanged. So you got the 501(c)(3), a non-profit, but it's tricky, man, because it's really about profit. It's really about profit, but it's a way the churches and the spiritual institutions don't get penalized with taxes so much, but they do pay a tax. You see, because you got to have a license. You see, that license is a tax, to operate. Tax ain't nothing but it's a legal shakedown, So YouTube still can be used as a weapon, and what make you different, the 5%ers different, is that they not concerned about money. They are fighting for free. And when you get someone that is really fighting for a cause, be it spiritually or principle, fighting for the principle or something, they would give a last breath for that, or take someone's last breath away. You got a more serious warrior, because they won't get bought off. You can't buy them off. They say everyone has a price, but they're not going to get bought off with the money. So when you go back to the Bible with Jesus, after he came off of that 40-day, 40-night fast with the devil, Satan tried to buy him off. But Jesus wasn't having it. See? But before any country go to physical war, they have a propaganda campaign going on. And that's why television and radio and the computer, the internet, were really invented, is because of communications. So now you go for all your, now you look at all your, well, let's look at this last killing of a young warrior, Nipsey Hussle. Communication expert. Rap is communications, you know. And then he was getting ready to make a documentary. Communication. See, y'all underestimate the value and the seriousness of propaganda, because that's all television is doing. That's all movies is doing. That's all music is doing. Is propagating someone's agenda. Even YouTube can be used as a propaganda tool, which is a war weapon for war. So it depends on how you use it. Most of everybody using it for silliness. You know, tabloid news and silly stuff, you know, because it's really geared for the young people. And so, but that's the way they can program the young. You don't think it's a subtle move, but you don't think that they're doing nothing, but they're programming the young. That's why you got a lot of homosexual subtle programming going on now. Yeah. So now you have, you know, the weapons, propaganda tools, or propaganda weapons, communication, spirituality, and economics. Let's hit this economic. A lot of people think a lot of brothers come on there, tell you, well, we're going to make y'all rich, and, you know, we're going to improve your credit rating and all like that. You know, they don't know what the hell they talking about. You can't use their money and buy into their system and try to control nothing. As soon as you buy into their system, you conforming, you know, to their rules. And like the mafia, is blood in, blood out, man. You know, you ain't getting out. And you can't use their system against them. They're not having it. So we're going to give you an illustration of what we're talking about right quick. When Columbus came over here and seen his opportunity to sucker these the natives and Aboriginal peoples over in this land, they didn't have no system put in place where, you know, you had to ask for their permission. They just set up shop. They just set up a marketplace. trading, fur trading. You know, they didn't have to get a business license. They didn't have to get a permit. They just started doing something. They just made friends with the Indians. The Indians showed them how to survive, and they started trading among one another. Then surely but surely, they brought the spiritual, the religion thing in. Told the natives over here that they spiritual system was uncivilized, and so they start setting up religious schools. All the schools was religious, was a private religious schooling, like the Catholic school, private school, and they would try to force the Native Americans into their system. And then that was how to establish the safety of those who wanted to get the minerals and the resources out of the earth, like gold and everything, so they could go and get it out the earth. But some of that resources were on sacred grounds. So that's where the problem came in. That's when they went and got the military forces to go and move the Indians off their sacred land or grounds or whatever. And some Indians just didn't, want to move, because the resources like the buffalo and other vital resources was there for them. So now we over here, the black man is over here, and in the cities, they want to move us around every time they, want to gentrify the nation, the cities. They move us off the land, raise the prices. After, the neighborhood is considered a slum area or a ghetto. I'm telling you, don't move. All you got to do is renovate where you at. And that's what we're going to talk about. Now that we done established that the YouTube is a good means of communication, we're going to establish that your hood is good for resources, because you are the resource. And that's what Nipsey was showing and proving and demonstrating, just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was most successful. Black light.